Hi everybody, I don't know if we're live or not. Wirecast was having trouble showing the actual camera itself, so hopefully we're live. I'm just going to check. Sounds as if we are. Okay, apologies for that. I had everything set up. I was really early this morning as well, and then Wirecast just wasn't showing the video at all. But it's all set up now. We'll skip the kind of intro, which is good. Although I like the intro as well, I like the dance music. Okay, so I've got a lot to talk about this morning. We've got the Binance hack to talk about. I don't think it's anything to worry about, if I'm being really honest. But we'll talk about that as well, what it means kind of for you, what it means for everybody else. What does it mean for Bitcoin? Apparently nothing. Just now we'll go over some news as well. A lot of the news is about Binance as well. Just shows you how big Binance is. And we'll look at one indicator that kind of shows Bitcoin could go to $266,000. One indicator. And I found this last night. I shared it with the premium group and the kind of pre-group as well. I shared it on TradingView as well. And it's never really been spoken about before, possibly because it's some indicators that I use that a lot of people don't use. But we'll look at that as well. So it's going to be exciting. So just keep on watching. And if you're watching just now, leave a comment just to let us know that you're here. If you don't usually leave a comment. So I'm just going to jump over to the chat, make sure everything's working okay. Hopefully it is. Excellent. Okay, so we'll just jump over to the chat just now and everything is live and up and running. Okay, we've got Sean Dubbs in the house, Niles Bull, B is in the house, Stephen King, and David Schwartz, Andreas, Mervyn Skidmore, IoT Financial, Richard Cooper, Jacked Crypto is in, the Stormkeeper is in, Justin Churchill, Debbie Claydon, Gary Stewart, Mighty Locks, Tony P, Crypto Dread, Gene, Donny Don Matthew, Nicky Sheldrake, and Mike D is in the house. Brilliant to see you. I asked this before, Mike D. Is this the Mike D? One of our brilliant admins. I don't know if you've changed your name or not. I think I asked this before. Mike, you need to kind of share with me. Pascal Amsterdam, Gordy Boy is in the house this morning as well. Okay, so before we go on to the news and look at the kind of Binance hack and the kind of indicator that I was talking about as well, there's loads of other things kind of going on and it's quite exciting actually. So we're going to look at crypto bubbles first of all. Adeb Bin, one of our brown admins, is in the house this morning as well. Ronald S is in from the US. Good to see you here. Mike D, no, sorry, it's Mike Crypto. Do apologise. Okay, I just have to ask, just in case people have changed their names. So good to see you, Mike. Anyway, right, we have by the hour. JCT is still making news. This is a Japan content token. As well, it kind of was up 700%, down 200, up 100, down 100. So it's up and down this morning. I don't kind of trust it. I looked at it, but I don't know what's going on with it, but it's certainly jumping up and down just now, and it's taken over crypto bubbles. Maxmind coin is up 8.85% over the last hour. OMG is up, PPT, Link, IOST, Theta are up as well. So we've got kind of 50, well, it's not 50-50, but we've got kind of, it's a reddish hour just now, which hopefully is not an indication of what's going to happen over the day. And this is over the last 24 hours. Red, you can see it was a red day over 24 hours. JCT up, ABBC coin up 45% as well. Net Singularity, or Next, sorry, is up 12%. True Chain is up 8.8%. Aurora coin, Maxmind, DJD is up as well. But on the whole, a kind of red day. We'll look at CoinMarketCap overall, see what's happening in the top 100. And if you can do me a favour just now, just go down to that like button and hit the like button just now. It does help the channel. We've now grown to 3,500 subscribers, which is brilliant for me. We don't grow very quickly here over at CYT-Crypto, but we're growing slowly but steadily, which is good. Okay, so we're up to a market capitalization of $184 billion, nearly $185 billion. We've got Bitcoin dominance has gone up 0.5% to 56.3%. A lot of people getting out of altcoins and going into Bitcoin just now, which is not necessarily a bad thing to do if we think that Bitcoin is going to go up. So if you think Bitcoin is going to go up, then it could be wise just to put everything in Bitcoin, but it's a gamble as well. You just never know what's going to happen with Bitcoin, but you might kick yourself if you don't, and you might kick yourself if you do. So it's kind of, you have to play it, kind of have a lot of your money in Bitcoin, obviously, as well, or a lot of your portfolio. But who's the winners and losers? We have ABBC coin up 44%, Japan content in at number 80 in the top 100 because of this kind of constant jumping up and down. Next is up 12%, Aurora coin is up 10%, they're double digit greens. And we have about 20% in the green, 80% in the red. KuCoin shares down 9.2%. Walton Chain is 8.73%, Cosmos down 8.37%, Newton, Tezos, Stratus, Binance coin obviously down as well. Could be a good opportunity to get back into Binance coin, and down 6%. Okay, so that's the kind of overall picture we've got just now. Okay, we're going to look at all of the coins, see what's up. Japan network we can see is up another 195% over the last 24 hours, over 7 days, up 353%. This is on volume of 377,000. We looked at the website yesterday, it doesn't look, it looks a bit dodgy to me if I'm being really honest, but it has gone up nonetheless. A lot of people are making a lot of money from that, but it doesn't look right. There's something iffy about it to me. Electrum Dark is up 120% on 145,000 volume, although it's down 50% in the last hour. Obviously just taking a jump up too quickly. It's only got a market cap of 237,000. These are the kind of dream hidden gems you kind of look for and hope that they're good and not dodgy kind of hidden gems. I don't know if Electrum Dark, I'm not saying Electrum Dark is a hidden gem, I've not looked into it. I'm just purely talking about the kind of market capitalization. APR coin, 103,000 market cap, up 64% as well on 18,000 volume. What's a low one that's got good volume? Putin coin, I wonder if this is a Russian coin, on 29,000 kind of volume, up 48%. So there's not that many over 100%. You usually get a few over 100% on 10k volume. But that is that just now. We're going to have a look at Bitcoin just now, what's happening with Bitcoin, BTC USD. Right, so we're going back up again to 5821. So we spoke yesterday and thought this was going to hit 6,000. It nearly hit 6,000, went to 5,976. Clearly 6,000 is going to be the next big resistance for Bitcoin. Very, very clearly. We know that anyway, 6,000 is a psychological barrier. If it can break through that, then we could be going higher for Bitcoin. But I want to show you this one indicator that could indicate that we're going to $266,000 for Bitcoin. I'm going to show you this just now, and it's not been covered before, probably because I use a couple of different indicators. So as you know, I love simple techniques to trade, and it's worked for me well so far over the last 2 years. It's a crossover, and I use the 7 EMA and the 50 EMA. Now, if we look at the weekly crossover, we're coming up for a crossover on the weekly chart with the 7 EMA crossing over the 50 EMA. So coming up for the crossover. That has only ever happened 3 times. This will be the 3rd time it's ever happened in the 10 years that Bitcoin has been trading. It's never happened, well, it's only happened 3 times before. The last time it happened was on 26th of October 2015, and then we went on a big bull run up to $19,800 or something. So that was a 68x from there. So 6,800% you would have got on that. $1 in, 6,800 back. Is that right? No. 68, no, $1 in, $68 back, sorry. So that what happened in 2015. So that was the second time it happened. The first time it happened, and we'll have to kind of use another chart here, and we'll have to use the BLX kind of chart to look at this. And it was And well, it was January it really happened. January 2012, round about the $4.75 mark, and it kind of went up to a high of 1,200. Well, it was $1,177. That was a 210x. I think it was 210x. And kind of put out on that. That was the first time it happened. So this has only happened 3 times. So it first happened there in 2012, and it kind of went to a high in 2013. It came back down. There was you could say a death cross in 2014. Then there was another cross in 2015. That started the bull run for 2 years, and before coming back down. Could this be the start of another bull run? Even if we got 50x from here, that's where the $266,000 Bitcoin price comes from. If we just say, okay, this one was a 68x, the first one was a 200, I think it was 210x, but if we were conservative and said this was a 50x, then we could say this is going to $266,000 for Bitcoin. So this has not quite crossed over yet. It's not quite crossed over. We need another week or 2 weeks, and then we've got a crossover. So if it stays stable at 5,800, or if it moves higher, we'll have the crossover. We've not got it yet, but we're coming up for that crossover, and this will be only the 3rd time it's ever happened. And this is a 7 EMA crossing over the 50 EMA. Now, I would imagine, and I've not checked this out yet. No, it's not. This is a 50 over the 200. It's on BLX. That crossed over a while ago. We've never really kind of been in a bear market at all. If we kind of look at this chart, this is for the 50 over the 200. We'll get rid of that. This is what I like to trade on though, the 7 and the 50. We've got a short time frame and a longer time frame, and we need a short time frame in crypto. You can't have the 50 and the 200 really on crypto. If you had the 50 and the 200, you can do it on Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is like 10 years old. You've got 10 years worth of data there. But you can't do it on the likes of Binance. You've only got a year and a half's worth of data or something. So you can't have the 50 over 200. This is why I go for a short time frame and a longer time frame. So 7 over 50 for me is ideal. And we're looking at that crossover. So it'd be good to know your thoughts on that. Let me know your thoughts on that as well. Just see who else has joined us. We have Brundle25 has joined us. Mitch Dieter, Honest Crypto Journey has joined us. Chardan has joined us. Good to see you back, mate. Juan Antonio has joined us. Hi, Steve. Now we know that Bitcoin is here to stay because even the Binance hack. BTC is still looking great and holding you very strong. Bull run is around the corner. Have a great day. I think so too. I still think we're going to go up. And that Binance hack, that normally would have sent Bitcoin into a tailspin. Nothing. Not a jot. It cares not a jot about what happened at Binance. And obviously we're going to go on to talk about that as well. So, big news of the day is obviously Binance. We'll look at Binance and we'll look at kind of some of the smaller charts as well, like we usually do. But this hackers steal 40.7 million in Bitcoin from crypto exchange Binance. You've seen it everywhere just now. It's been, nobody's been talking about anything else for the last 6 hours or so, or 8 hours now. It's 8 hours old, that kind of news. But hackers stole more than 7,000 Bitcoin from crypto exchange Binance, the world's largest by volume, the startup reported on Tuesday. Binance announced that a large-scale security breach was discovered earlier on May the 7th, finding that malicious actors were able to access user API keys, two-factor authentication codes, and potentially other info. The exchange's CEO Changpeng Zhao said in a letter, as a result, they were able to withdraw roughly $41 million in Bitcoin from the exchange, according to a transaction published in the security notice. So this goes on just to talk about that. We know about it as well. But the thing, obviously, it's been covered by the SAFU fund. And the SAFU fund is a secure asset fund for users. That's what SAFU stands for, but obviously we use it safe as well. But that's what SAFU is actually stand for. So they're going to cover it with that. So there's no kind of biggie as such. However, this is from the hot wallet. It's been stolen from the hot wallet, which obviously they have a lot of the Bitcoin in cold storage, so they have it offline. It's not online, so users cannot, or hackers can't get to it. So this is from the hot wallet, and this is the one that they have online that's going to be used kind of all the time, because people are trading all the time in and out of kind of Bitcoin. This is why they have a hot wallet and a cold wallet storage as well. But they've got that fund there just in case there are any hacks. They've had it before. It's happened before with API. I think it happened with SIS before as well. If you remember last year, July, to around about the same time as well. And I think it was the same amount, 7,000 BTC. Strange. But there's a lot of people coming out and saying kind of bad things, obviously, about kind of CZ, about Binance, about being evil, stuff like that, about conspiracy theories as well. And you have to look at that. You have to look at both sides. Is kind of CZ up to something? Does he do it? Is he kind of in bed with kind of Bitfinex and Tether and stuff like that? There's loads of stuff out there as well. Personally, Binance is the exchange I trust the most. I don't trust any of them, to be honest, 100%. And I wouldn't store my funds on them. The only kind of funds I have is trading funds for them. So I wouldn't store my funds on Binance, on the exchange itself, but it's the one I trust the most. CZ came out with a video, done a kind of 37-minute video as well, kind of explained everything in the video as well. Don't know if you've seen that on Twitter. Have a look on Twitter, CZ's account, and you'll be able to see that. So check that out. To me, this is not a big, huge deal. Is he lying about the 7,000 kind of Bitcoin hack? Who knows? Who knows why? If he was doing that for what possible reason? Obviously, they can make money if they freeze the accounts for 7 days, because obviously there's going to be less. I don't know how much they've got on Binance, that people have got on Binance with regards to BTC, but you could change it into. I would imagine you could change, instead of if you're trading just now, you could trade it into XRP or Ethereum and take it off that way. I don't know if they're frozen all funds withdrawals just now, or is it just BTC? And I might need to clarify that actually. I don't know if it was just BTC or all funds for 1 full week. So I'll need to check that out. But to me, it's not that big of a deal. And I kind of found as well something, I don't know if, I'm just trying to look for something just now that I found, because I was deliberately just trying to find out what actually has been kind of stolen in the past. This was it. So a list of cryptocurrency exchange hacks, and this is going back to kind of Silk Road kind of days in 2013. So on Silk Road, 171,000 or 172,000 Bitcoin was stolen. Obviously, we kind of know about this as well. Mt. Gox, 850,000 BTC were stolen. And this is to put things into perspective. In July of that year as well, 2014, 13,000 Bitcoin was stolen, 300,000 Litecoin. December, 3,894 was stolen, 19,000 Bitcoin stolen in 2015 from Bitstamp, BTR 7,000 BTC in February. August, Bitfinex 2016, 120,000 Bitcoin was stolen. 2017, 4,000 Bitcoin was stolen, NiceHash as well. Coincheck, 523 million NEM. We probably all remember that as well. In January 2018, BitGrail, 17 million Nano was stolen in February of 2018. April, 438 Bitcoin was stolen from CoinSecure. CoinRail, $40 million worth of various tokens. In Zafe, 5,966 BTC as well was stolen. Maple Change, 913 BTC, November last year, 13,000 Ethereum and ICO as well. BTC, unknown, a daily volume over 200 million. Cryptopia, 19,000 ETH. Cryptopia again. CoinMama, 450,000 user emails and passwords were stolen. So in the grand scheme of things, looking at the previous kind of hacks as well, is not that big a deal. 7,000, and there's not been a blip in the market, on the BTC market at all. Normally that news would have sent everything in a tailspin and everybody would have been panicking and withdrawn. To me, the first thing I thought about when I seen the kind of news when I first woke up this morning, shit, what's the kind of Binance price? Is that a good time to get in? So looking at Binance just now, what is the Binance price? 354,000 Satoshi just now. So it did go down to 325,000. That would obviously been a good time to get in. But even if you're going at 335 or something. So is that, am I being kind of flippant with this? Am I being a bit flippant? I don't think so. I just don't think it's that big a deal. I think there's something more to it. Just kind of spidey sense. I think there's something more to it than that. And Bitfinex on Twitter, if you kind of look at Bitfinex as well, there's some things that he's kind of writing about. We'll just check him out. I was checking out Superman's. Bitfinex. There we go. He's kind of leading the charge on this as well. So if Binance was a legitimate exchange, within minutes of Tether's own lawyer admitting Tether only had 74 cents for each Tether, Binance would have suspended all Tether trading pairs. This is going from one extreme to another, and kind of Bitfinex is at kind of one extreme. He might not be, he might be telling the truth, or he might have uncovered the truth. Bitfinex parody, that was something else. There was something else on this. So he talks about, so does anyone remember that in July 2018 there was a mysterious hack on Binance where 7,000 BT was also withdrawn and an emergency maintenance happened. So this is what was the one kind of looked at as well, and this was talking about the Syscoin team as well. And this was from kind of obviously last year as well. So it's good to look at alternate theories. Personally, I'm not too worried. Obviously, I use Binance for trading, but I wouldn't hold Bitcoin. If I was going to hold Bitcoin for the long term, I wouldn't hold it on the exchange. So it'd be interesting to hear your thoughts on that as well. Gina Dow's in the house. Curly Crypto. BAB price plummeted. We'll need to look at that. Tron bought up to cover losses for Binance. Yeah, I think Justin Sun offered 7,000 BTC as well. B, problem the hackers have is getting the Bitcoin tumbled. All Bitcoin accounts are traceable. That was the other thing that kind of Binance or CZ or somebody suggested, that they roll back Bitcoin. That would have been historical if they'd done that, and I think that would have affected the price because you would lose trust in Bitcoin if that was to happen. So CZ was talking about kind of going to the miners, kind of paying the miners some sort of kind of fee and saying, listen, can we roll back Bitcoin? And I thought, if that happened, if they did do that and that kind of actually went ahead, it's not going to go ahead, but it's something they did think about for a couple of hours, I would imagine. But they can't do that. It's just too complicated. Well, it's not too complicated. They could do it, but they're not going to do it. It would just cause too much hassle. And plus, the trust that kind of Bitcoin would lose, and I think the institutional investors and everybody else would just go, what, they can actually roll back Bitcoin and do that? And it just, I think the trust would be gone from the whole crypto market. So for $40 million, obviously I'd think about it as well if it was my $40 million, but I don't think it'd have been good for the whole space if they did do that. It's something they did think about, and something they can do as well. So basically, kind of roll it back. It's like you've got a piece of software, and one piece of software or a new upgrade doesn't work, so you roll it back to the previous version. And this is kind of what they were thinking about doing, or CZ was thinking about doing. So that would have been a nightmare if they did do that. Donny Don Matthew, Justin Sun offering to cover 7,000 BTC. Yeah, a $40 million marketing campaign by Justin. This guy is a hype marketing genius. Can't talk about his product tech. That's what I kept on saying as well. That's what I keep on saying. Justin Sun, his marketing, whatever you think about him, his marketing, he kind of knows what he's doing in marketing. He's kind of on the ball with it, even if you think that's just a bit too kind of sleazy-ish. It's like the sleazy car salesman. I don't trust Justin Sun, I have to admit, anymore, if I'm being really honest. And I've talked about that over the last couple of months. There's something, there's something, but you have to give him it for his marketing. Nicky Sheldrake saying, I can't withdraw anything at all. And David Schwartz, I don't think CZ is lying about anything. He always has been a very good leader and transparent. Personally, I like CZ. I do like him. I think he is. I don't get any kind of hairs on the back of my neck standing up when he kind of talks. I do trust him. As much as you can trust somebody that you don't know, as much as you can trust somebody, I do trust CZ and I do like Binance. We'll see. We'll need to wait and see kind of what happens. But personally, David, I don't think CZ is lying either. But we have to look at two sides kind of the story as well. Robert Golding, hi, new to your channel, nice to have a UK one. Is the BN hack a good advert for DEX exchanges? Do you have any views on Nash, NEX and Neon exchanges? I think DEX exchanges are going to be good, but it's the functionality of it and the user interface and the whole user experience with regards to the DEX exchanges. Obviously, they're going to be much better for the decentralized exchanges. And to a degree, well, obviously Binance are going to be coming out with kind of DEX as well. So I think it's going to be good for Binance because they know exactly what to put in for the user experience and why people love Binance in the first place. But I think it is going to be one of the big things in 2019, towards the end of 2019. I don't think they're going to perfect it, but I think Binance are well lined up to be the best kind of DEX out there as well. And also Binance have kind of released news. Obviously, they've done this kind of on purpose. They've released news. Oh, this was about the rollback as well for Binance. They're not going to do that, thank goodness. I don't think that should have been done. This was other news. We'll kind of look at that. So this is kind of about Binance as well. Binance proposes legal defense fund for people Craig Wright has sued. So we know about Craig Wright, and I've spoken about him before, and my extreme dislike for Craig Wright and people like him. And Binance, CZ has come out and said, Wright is picking on people who have a hard time fronting their legal fees, said Zhao on Twitter. How about we do a Binance BCF charity program to raise money from the community for legal fees for anyone CSW sues, CSW being Craig Wright. Zhao explained the funds, which he said could include a $10,000 donation from him, would go directly to litigants and kind of lawyers with the transactions preserved on Binance's blockchain. The funds would be denominated in Binance coin, the exchange's native token. And he goes on further to say, these cases should be slam dunk, he said. The loser, CSW, will eventually have to cover these legal fees. At that time, we can return those to the donors or donate those fees to charity as well. Zhao has done little to conceal his dislike of Wright and was the first among many exchange CEOs to delist Bitcoin SV, the Bitcoin fork Wright supports and insists is the one true Bitcoin. I have to admit, I totally agree with Changpeng Zhao as well. CZ, just don't like him, the guy, at all. I don't like egomaniacs, I don't like narcissists like that as well. And I think what he's doing is quite cool, actually, if that is actually going to be true and he does do that. There's another piece of news that kind of Binance came out with as well, and it was the fact that it's been kind of confirmed that they're going to have margin trading as well. So I would imagine that helped the price go back up once they came out with that, and I can't remember where it is, the news for that. And I want to thank at this point Deb, James and Rob for the news stories. I'm just going to look at this. So this is some of the other headlines as well. Just kind of looking at today. Right, so we're not going to cover that obviously. Okay, so Binance are coming out with margin trading. It's been confirmed. There, I just can't find that news story there. Everything's kind of up in there since I was trying to get back on video. This is from Willie Woo. To summarise my view of the market in one spot instead of various webcasts and tweets, I'm 95% certain the market has bottomed. That is to say, we are unlikely to break below past lows, i.e. 3,200. The bull market, upwards and onwards, has not formally confirmed just yet. We need to successfully retest the 200-day MA and realised cap, both $4,400 right now, or without retest, we need to stay above them for a sizable time, say another month or so. This is Willie Woo talking about this as well. And the other kind of news we have, PayPal CFO reveals they're working on blockchain and cryptocurrency. And PayPal giants, PayPal is clearly interested in crypto, but it's only kicking its tires so far. And during a recent interview with Yahoo Finance, PayPal CFO John Rainey spilled the beans on PayPal's crypto plans. While they're looking on the new disrupting technology, he doesn't think that Bitcoin is mainstream enough to be a big focus for them. He goes on to say, we have teams clearly working on blockchain and cryptocurrency as well, and we want to take part in that in whatever form that takes in the future. I just think it's a little too early on right now on Bitcoin, he said. And this is PayPal news. We're going to kind of look at some other news. What is it? And that's it. We'll just give you the headlines for the others as well. This was Bitfinex we kind of looked at as well. We've seen this yesterday. New York judge criticises Attorney General's claims against Bitfinex and Tether. So it's big legal kind of bang over that. And this is the kind of, I like to catch up with the news as well from Crypto Revolution. Previously, Crypto Bitcoin Chris. And if you haven't seen this, you need to kind of subscribe to his channel. It's brilliant, just down to earth, brilliant guy. He's got the news kind of covered within a space of kind of 15-20 minutes. I know I do an hour because I like talking to you guys, but if you want the kind of news updates and kind of his thoughts on trading as well, really good trader as well. And yeah, definitely check out Crypto Revolution. It's up to 10,000 subscribers because it changed. And I don't know what it was before. I think it was over 20,000 subscribers, but really good channel. So check out Crypto Revolution as well. Can you cancel unconfirmed Bitcoin transaction? Yes, and it goes on to tell you how they do it. And this is just the news headlines. Investor analyzes Ripple multi-million-dollar sale of XRP as Bitcoin in crypto market surge. So this kind of article is talking about the kind of constant sale from Ripple to kind of big institutional investors of XRP, and kind of questions, is it good to do that because of the billions that are going into the kind of circulation after that? So obviously the kind of XRP price we'll look at as well. With just kind of look at the charts after this, XRP price is still going down. Privacy cryptocurrency Grin receives mysterious 300k Bitcoin donation. So somebody's donated $300,000 worth of Bitcoin to Grin as well. A really big and heartfelt thanks. We'll ensure we put that to good use. This is from Daniel Lenberg, one of the developers on that as well. That was good news for them. BTC premium on Bitfinex at $280. Widespread reports of people unable to withdraw fiat from platform. It's not looking good for Bitfinex just now, I have to admit. So I wouldn't be having anything on Bitfinex at all. That, more than anything, could affect the market, could disrupt the market big time. If things go to pot with Bitfinex and Tether, things could get ugly, I think. Starbucks partners with Microsoft to track coffee beans using blockchain as well. And I'll put these news links up for you as well. This is some of the news stories they're kind of looking at as well. So go back to the chat and then we'll have a look at the kind of charts and the small charts as well, and we'll have the coin of the day as well. Now the coin of the day, I think it's changed. It's already up from where I was, because I was looking at the coin of the day this morning and thought, okay, I've called this in the premium group. It was up about 10%, 10-12% from when I called in the premium group, but it's gone up again. So I'll look at two of them. There was two coins I was looking at. So I'll give you two coins today, and I'll look at the other one, see if it's gone up even more. It might not be worth getting into the coin of the day today because it's already gone up. But I'll look at that as well. What was saying, David Swartz, Robert Golding, Donald Steen. Do you think there has to be been up? Do you think there has been an up in wash trading in BTC to keep the price at this point and not plummeting after such big news like Binance hack? In a normal sense, it would have shot down quite a lot. That's the thing as well. I don't think for wash trading, no, you couldn't coordinate that kind of happening over all the exchanges as well. So no, I don't think that's kind of going to be the case. I just don't think it's that big a deal. 7,000 Bitcoin, it's not that much in the grand scheme of things. 7,000 Bitcoin is not that much. And because CZ had come out and obviously and just said straight away, listen, this is what's happening, and he kind of came out, he was open, he was honest, hopefully, about everything that was happening, then I think that's what's kind of stopped Bitcoin from plummeting as well and people from panicking, which is a mark of a good leader as well. You come out, you admit something's been done, you admit the hack, which is done, and say, this is what we're doing, we've covered it, don't worry, your funds are safe. There's going to have to be some security, kind of looking at the security as well. This is why they're freezing funds or withdrawal funds just now, but you can still trade. So no, I don't think it's worth trading. G-Slick, hi to you. Oh, it's getting slaughtered, but Dent doing well. A few more days of Dent making such move, we'll have a nice number. Yeah, hopefully Dent, I know a couple of people in Dent just now, so hopefully it does make a move for you guys as well. Axel is in the house, good morning to you. High Plains Drifter is in, hi everyone. B, coffee beans on blockchain, that was my thoughts as well. Smash the likes up everyone, says David Schwartz. Thank you very much, David. Okay, so we'll look at a few of, you can ask for some charts to look at. We'll just look at Bitcoin first. 5,800, this is on Brave New Coin. We'll look at BTC USD on Bitstamp, which is a go-to one. 5,823 it is. So we're clearly hitting that kind of 6,000. If we can break 6,000 for Bitcoin, I think that could be really good if we break it and stay above that as well. I think that's another bullish sign for Bitcoin. If we could break $6,400, I think that would just kind of send it to the moon. And we'll just go to 6,400 because that's obviously a kind of previous resistance and support as well. This little channel here, and that was stayed in for so long, 11th of June 2018 all the way up to the 5th of November. So we stayed in that for about 5 months or something, kind of in and out of that. So if we can break that as well, it's just going to look super bullish, and we're going up from there. But we have to break that 6,000. We really have to break that 6,000. Just not quite hitting it yet. If we break it and we stay above it, then I think everybody's going to be talking about how high can Bitcoin go. But we need to break it first. Or we need to break 6,400, but if we break 6,000, I think that's going to be a big kind of marker. And then I think you're going to see the alts. That's the only thing, you're going to see the alts bleeding because everybody's going to be thinking, right, Bitcoin is going to shoot to the moon. I'm getting out of alts just now. So that's Bitcoin. Okay, we're going to look at the coin of the day today, and you might have seen that before I went on to it, but it is Horizon or Zen. Now it's went up already. It's kind of went up today again. This is on a weekly. We'll look on the daily. So I'm going to look at it in the last hour. It's kind of come back down. So I was up at 5 kind of this morning, was down, then I thought, okay, this is a good time to call it again. And I called it in the kind of premium group at 148,000, I think. 149,000 I called in the premium group, I believe. And then it came back down slightly here. I thought, okay, good time to call it, but then it started going back up. So I'm going to call it here. I'm going to call it here at 170,000 for Zen. And the reason is on the daily it's crossed over. It's looking good on the daily. However, we've got a kind of resistance here and a big resistance here at 173,000. So if you're going to get into Zen, I would wait on it going over 173,000 Satoshi before getting into it. So I'll call it just now because I think it is going to go higher. But it might have gone up too high already from when I first called it. I think from 149,000, what's it gone up? It's gone up about 15% so far. Higher than that if you include the tops. So the other one, the kind of backup one that I was going to be looking at is MFT. So it doesn't look good in the daily. It's been kind of going along at around about 50. It's gone up to 55, but if we're looking at 4 hourly, we have to kind of change the strategy. It's not just a daily we're looking at. This is on the 4 hourly. Now, it crossed over on the 4 hourly on the 5th of May from about 53 and went up to 66, came back down, and it looks as if it's going to bounce off the kind of 50 EMA on that, on the 4 hourly chart. And to me, it's looking quite good. And if we look at the books for MFT as well, yeah, it's coming back. It was kind of 53, 54. I think it did get down to, yeah, 53, 54. That's the kind of lowest. So we're coming back up. So there was, when I was looking at this morning, 54, there's only about 1 million kind of buys for 54 Satoshi and a lot of kind of sales for 55 Satoshi. But now we're coming back up. We've got 7 million buys at 54 Satoshi and 11 million sales at 55 Satoshi. This, if it moves, even if it moves kind of 5 Satoshi, 4, 5 Satoshi, you're talking about a 10% move. So even if it went up to 59, kind of 60, you're talking about a 10% move there. But it's a riskier one as well. We're near the all-time low of 47. So it could come back down and retest that. So we'll have to be careful of that, obviously. And it's risky. So put your kind of stop loss in it, I would say 52, 53, or something like that. And I know that represents 10%, 10%, 10, 20%. Well, 50, 10. What does it represent? If you manage to get in at 55, so and you put 10%, I would say 10%. Put your kind of stop loss in at 50 or something like that. If you're going to do something like that, so this is not financial advice. It's only my opinion. I'm invested in this. I'm biased as well because obviously, if this does really well, you might kind of join the premium program, which you pay a monthly fee for, and you can see the link down below. So I'm totally biased. In all the calls I make, I'm totally 100% biased. I'm looking for you to do something. If you think my free calls are good, then you might jump into the premium group and say, okay, if this is what the free calls are like, imagine what the premium calls are like. And I do kind of premium calls nearly every day. But in this kind of market, it's not every day just now. You just have to kind of sit and wait and see what's happening. So I'm totally biased. So do your own research with all of the calls I make on Zen and MFT as well. But it's looking better and good for MFT as well. And I think this could go up a good percent. I know it's up already, but I think it could go up as well. That is the coins of the day today, MFT and Zen. Zen has already went up from where I called it and premium group and from where I was looking at this morning. So you might want to kind of reconsider, but obviously do your own research as well. So let me know what you think about that as well. And I'm just going to go back. And B, I have to shoot. Meeting in Glasgow. Thanks, Dave. Stay safe. All. You as well, B. Thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it. Always appreciate your time, and I appreciate your time, everybody watching just now as well. How many people we got watching just now? 39 people watching. I really appreciate your time, as always. So thank you very much for that. So we've had everything. We'll just look at crypto bubbles again, see what's going on. ABBC up. Is this 24 hours? We'll look at the hourly. Digix DAO is up, Maximind Coin is up, JCT is up again, MadeSafe Coin is up as well. We'll just have a look on Binance, see what's going on there. Digix DAO 11.65, CVC 6.35, Zen 1706, AGI, MFT, Wabi, TRX. So there's only one page in green. Normally you get a lot of pages in green on Binance. So that means obviously people are getting out of alts and going into Bitcoin. 5825 still kind of coming up again. So it did go down to 5658. Obviously that's with the news for kind of Binance getting hacked. But I think he saved that well, CZ. And it's gone up again, 5825. Could it climb from here? Is there more information going to come out from Binance and Bitfinex and Tether? Could that scupper what Bitcoin is going to, or potentially doing just now? We'll need to wait and see. So a lot of things happening. You just have to be safe. Views on Vibe gone at 675. So Vibe is one I recommended, and I do. Well, I recommended it. Obviously, recommend putting a 5% stop loss on that as well, but that's going to gone down big time. Vibe. So I recommended Vibe and Vib, two different coins altogether. So we are at 655 just now. You're going to 675. This is on the 4 hour. So I kind of called it when it kind of moved over on the 4 hourly, when the crossover happened. I was coming up for the crossover, and it did go up slightly, then came back down again when Bitcoin kind of shot up, obviously. But is it looking good just now? You'd have to go down to the hourly. I don't know if I'm being honest. I don't know if I'd call it again at this price at 655. It did go down to 642. So I don't know, I probably wouldn't call that this kind of price. Obviously, it could go down even further in 15 minutes. It's not even crossed over in a 15 minute. So if you're holding just now, if you didn't put in your 5% stop loss, I don't know if you're going at 675, 67 would be 10%, 37.5, about 5%. 675, take that off, 63. So no, you're nowhere near your 5%, so you're not looking bad just now. So you might want to hold that just now. That's Bib. That's what was Bib doing. Bib was the one we called for the coin of the day. And we called that on Monday. Kind of going over it. That's on the 15 minutes. So look on the daily just now. So called that Monday. It did go up to 780. I think we called it 7. I think it was 750 when I seen it on YouTube. But called in the premium group is 7. I can't remember 7. It's 713 for Vib. So it's coming back up again. It kind of broke out of this symmetrical triangle. I'm down to 674. It's come back up again. I honestly can't remember when I called it. I'm just going to look so I'm not bullshitting anybody. So look at the ones we called. Vibe is 713. It was Vib was at 738. That's what it was. So called it 738 in the premium group. I think it was about 750 or something when I looked at it on YouTube on Monday. It kind of did go up a wee bit and then come back down again. So you might have got stopped out in your 5% for 738. That would have been 73, 670. Take that off. So what did it get down to? 677. You still wouldn't be at your 5%. So yeah, still for me that would be an okay trade at the moment. That's on the daily. On the 4 hourly, it's kind of crossed down over on the 4 hourly. 674. So we're obviously looking for that to get in back into the symmetrical triangle, and it did get into that. So you'd need to kind of wait and see kind of what happened there. That's for Vib. The other one we called yesterday was RLC. Probably gone down as well. It did go up. Can't remember what we called it yesterday. This is on the 4 hourly. It did go up to 11,410. It's now at 10,360, but it did go up. So we must have called it yesterday round about, say, this time. So on the channel, it must have been about 10,500, and it did go up about 8-9%, then came back down again, and it's moving back up again. So RLC is still looking good. Zen we've called officially today as well. Yeah, it's starting to go back up. So 170,600. And MFT we're going to secondary call that as well. 54 Satoshi. So we're saying 55 Satoshi there. What was the other ones? Looking at Nulls BTC. Not looking good. We've said that we've kind of looked at this before. It's not looking good on any of the charts at the moment. If you're looking at the hourly chart, it's not looking good for Nulls just now. But if you're dollar cost averaging in, could be brilliant for Nulls. It could be excellent. So obviously it's nowhere near its all-time low, but it's look as if it's going to go down to its recent lows of maybe 10,000-ish or something. So if you're dollar cost averaging in and you really believe in those, then it could be a really, really good one. What other ones? You're kind of looking at. What other charts did you want to look at? So look at the small ones. So look at BAB, Ethereum. Was that Bitcoin, Ethereum it went on? Yeah, that was Bitcoin. So BAB, Ethereum. Oh, it's gone down even lower. So it's 89. It did get down to 86. Agree. So it's gone down even lower. It reached its all-time low. I think its all-time low went down to 61 GUI. That's its all-time low when it first kind of came out. Things not looking good there. DGTX, just have a quick look at as well. 532, so still languishing down there. I've seen an exchange between Superman and Keith Waring as well, when Superman was dissing kind of Digitex, and Keith Waring jumped in. Seen that on Twitter. What BPT? Somebody was talking about BPT has run out of money, and they're doing an STO. So I've got a handful of kind of BPT as well. 1738. So I need to look into that. I haven't looked into it this morning, but I do thank you this morning for kind of highlighting that and looking at it. Howdo, been speaking to them over the last couple of days. Down 217. So I think the whole market, the whole alts market is down just now, and I think we'll go on another kind of alts run as well. I think it's going to be precarious with all this Binance, Bitfinex, Tether kind of situation. I think that's going to scupper things. But we'll need to wait and see kind of what happens there as well. Mark Innes, hi Steve, great show mate. Thank you very much, Mark. I really appreciate your support, buddy. It's nice chatting to you as well. Good morning, guys. I would say this is a crazy day, but it's crypto Don Juan. Yes, it is. I seen your message this morning as well, DJ, in the kind of group, in the Gems group as well. Looking good. Mr. Swanfield is in. Hi, Plains Drifter, GoChain. I'll look at GoChain as well. Gene, another brilliant show, Stephen. Cheers, mate. Thanks, Gene. I really appreciate your support, buddy. I've set stop loss at 600. Brilliant. Brilliant. Chris Cash is in. Good. Any thoughts on OneChain? I think OneChain for the long term, brilliant. We'll look at some of the other charts. G-Slick, thoughts on CAP? Haven't heard of CAP. CAPP. Never. One I've never heard of at all. Literally never heard of. 1.2 million, 27,000 volume, circulating supply 531, total supply 663. That's about 85% of the total supply, which is good. Has had a high of 46 cents, currently at 0.2 of a cent. Jeez, that's a big drop. Markets is on KuCoin. We like KuCoin for hidden gems. Social, this is just very quickly. Social looking at currently capacity platform creation, embedding and analysis of 3D content is being used by top luxury retail companies. Sponsorship of Indente Varieties. It is a part of the capacity for art project. 10 hours ago. 10 hours, that was from obviously the conference. May the 1st was next update. Capacity for artists 3D imaging app review preview. An app for 3D imaging. Capacity Easy 3D Scan version 1.58 is available for download. So I'd need to look into that, but that's it just now. It looks okay. It would pass the kind of first round thing just very quickly, just to say, okay, it's worth taking another look. For me, it would pass the kind of first round as an interesting one, but immediately concerns would be raised about how they would make money. But that's without looking at it at all, so I'm not going to say anything against them, just that would be the first question that kind of came up. That's from G-Slick, Nicky Sheldrake. How's Hot looking, Steve? Hot looks actually okay just now. Doesn't look good in the charts, but Hot BTC. So it's went down to 20. It broke this support line. This is what I was kind of talking about to somebody else in the premium group. It broke this support line. I thought it was on a descending triangle. No, it wasn't a descending triangle. I thought if it could break from there, we kind of spoke about it towards the end of April. If it could break from there, we're going to double up and go up and get 100% kind of returns on that. Now, it's broken that support. at 23 Satoshi. So it doesn't look good. I said if it breaks support at 23 Satoshi, it doesn't look good for HOT. However, I think for the long term, I think HOT is really, really good. I really like HoloChain. It's obviously the kind of DAG as well. So I like it from lots of different perspectives as well. The only thing I don't like at the moment, and it's not that big a deal to be honest, is the kind of market capitalization just now is 165 million. It'd have been good if it was lower than that. So if it does go lower, then I would definitely be saying, okay, this is time to start accumulating this big time, because this could be a life-changing kind of one for everybody. I think HoloChain could be life-changing if you kind of get early enough. Is 20 Satoshi early? Yeah, I think it could be. So I have been looking at it. Just to see if I should get in or not, or start accumulating it or not. But looking at the charts, you'd say, okay, this could have further to fall. So on the 4-hour chart, doesn't look good. On the daily chart, doesn't look good. On the 1-hour chart, it doesn't look good either. So it might have further to fall. But it's definitely one I'm keeping an eye on, just to say, okay, I'm going to start accumulating this for long term, because it could be extremely, extremely profitable. Because it being a good project, it looks to be a good project. So that's my thoughts on it. Trading, not so much. Long term, definitely. So it could be one, if you're dollar cost averaging in, this could be a brilliant price to buy it at. OneChain, and we're kind of looking at as well. From a trading point of view, I think we've looked at this before. A trading point of view, doesn't look good just now. Again, it's one of those long-term projects. You think this could be really good for the long term and accumulating. So it's all-time low just now. So you'd be looking for confirmation of a reversal for that. There's no confirmation at all on any of the charts. Even if you kind of go down to the 15-minute chart, you're still not. There's no confirmation there that there's going to be a reversal for the price. So from a trading point of view, I wouldn't touch it at the moment. Long-term point of view, I think if you're thinking about dollar cost averaging in, this could be another one for this as well. If you look at OneChain as well, and you look at the market capitalization, 34 million, it could be amazing. It could be amazing. $9.32, but we'll not look at that. We'll look at the USD and the BTC value. 98,000 before, now at 5,000. From 98,000 to 5,000. So 18x from just to get to its high time BTC value. So yeah, I think OneChain could be good as well. So it was actually a Binance hack or just access to multiple user accounts? That was the thing I didn't understand as well, because it said access to multiple user accounts via the API, but it was the Binance hot wallet, 2% of the Binance hot wallet on BTC that was used, but you could still use multiple user accounts to get to that hot wallet. And the hot wallet being that Bitcoin is actually on the exchange and live and kind of up and running. If it's cold, it's a cold wallet, obviously it's offline, you wouldn't be able to touch it. So it could be both. But I didn't understand that at first when I first seen that. So I think it is multiple user accounts. Nicky Sheldrake, I'm trading hot, so do you think it's worth getting into other coins or out into other coins? Ah, right. Well, let's look at the kind of books on hot. Okay. So we've got to buy at 20 Satoshi, 413 million worth, and you've got 82 Bitcoin worth. To sell at 21 Satoshi, you've got 62 Bitcoin worth. Now look at 7 decimal places. Right, so this is from, kind of look at this just to have a look, just to kind of see what's happening. So to buy between 20 Satoshi and 29 Satoshi, we've got 82 Bitcoin worth. To sell between 30 and 39 Satoshi, you've got 341 Bitcoin worth. So that could mean, it just shows you an indication of where people's mind's at. So people have got kind of orders placed to sell between 30 and 39, 341 Bitcoin worth there to kind of sell between 40 and 49, you've got 571. Between 50 and 59, 346. 60 and 69, 209. And that's where they place their orders. Now, if they see it going up, they might think again and say, okay, they'll just pull their orders. So that figure could change in an instant. But it's just something to see where people's mindset is. And this is why it's worth looking at 7 decimal places when you're kind of looking at the likes of HOT. So looking at that, you'd say, well, a lot of people are going to be selling. So it could get to 29, 30, and a lot of people are going to be selling then. So you might say, okay, I could dive in at 20 and get out at 29, or just place an order to sell at 29. Don't know, but it might be worth a punt. It might be worth a punt. So I don't know, if you're in it just now, I might stay in it just to see what happens. If it goes below, if it went below that and went to 1920, then I'd start thinking, questioning, just say, should I get out just now? Donnie Matthew, some YouTuber was saying having 1 million HOT will be awesome in a few years. I'm waiting for it to drop a bit and putting some cash into it. Yeah, I think so. I think so. If you had 1 million HOT, so what's HOT kind of price wise? Dollar wise, you've got 1/10 of a cent just now. If you had 1 million HOT, so could it go to $1? I don't think so. Purely because of the circulating supply. So we're just going to look at that. We'll just do a kind of quick scenario. What time we're way past our time. So circulating supply is 133 billion. So if HOT got to $1, it would be $133 billion in $1 trillion market cap. It could happen. Don't see it happening. 10 cents. Could it get to 10 cents? That would be 13 billion. If it's $1 trillion kind of market, which it will be in a couple of years' time, then that could happen. So 10 cents, if you had 1 million at 10 cents, that'd be $100,000. So it could be life-changing, yeah. It definitely could be life-changing. So what would you need to buy? Is that $10,000 worth? Between $10,000 and $13,000 worth for that to happen, so it wouldn't be that bad at all. So it could be good, yeah. Snicky Sheldrake. Okay, I'm going to leave it there just now. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for sticking with me at the beginning as well. Try and make sure everything's up and running before. Well, I did beforehand. It just wasn't shown on kind of Wirecast. I make sure Wirecast is up and running. Okay, so we're starting on time tomorrow. But hopefully you enjoyed that today. Hopefully it kind of allayed your fears somewhat for the Binance hack as well. And hopefully there's more news doesn't come out to kind of negate what I've been kind of talking about here, what we've been talking about as well. But that's it for just now. Until tomorrow, have a brilliant day. Until then, namaste. Take care. Bye now.
Here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the round pegs in the square holes, the ones who see things differently. They're not fond of rules, and they have no respect for the status quo. You can quote them, disagree with them, glorify or vilify them. About the only thing you can't do is ignore them. Because they change things. They push the human race forward. While some may see them as the crazy ones, we see genius. Because the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. Here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the round pegs in the square holes, the ones who see things differently. They're not fond of rules.